Hello everyone, welcome. It's the weekend of March 21st, 22nd, 2026. That's 21 days since the start of Operation Epic Fury, which is the war between the United States and Israel versus Iran and its proxies, which has now engulfed the entire Middle East. I hope that it doesn't get any worse than that. I know that you hope the same thing. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and more importantly, make sure you hit the ATM to get cash, because if you're gonna try to put gas in your car, you want to save every little penny you can. I think I saved 30 cents earlier on a gallon of gas, or per gallon. I didn't only put 1 gallon of gas. All right. To all the children of the world, they're often the victims of things that are going on in war. I offer my sincerest thoughts and prayers. Also to the men and women of our military, serving in the military. Also, our thoughts and prayers go out to them. We want everybody to come home safe. You guys take care out there. We're going to go into the pick six because I went 2-4 this past weekend. I didn't like that at all. But if you're new to the show, don't get excited. It happens. It happens. Before the previous week, I was 3-3. This is hockey and basketball. It's all brand new to me. And how can we get into it, right? With all the news, how can I be blamed? You can't really concentrate on anything when basically we're moving towards what looks like a global conflict, right? Anyway. From the Shajara Tayeba girls in that school that was bombed, I think it was in Manab, Iran. All the way back to, Anne Frank, from the Diary of Anne Frank, a young girl who suffered bravely but entirely too much at the hands of the Nazis during World War II and the Holocaust. It's often the kids that suffer, and that's depressing. We're going to go talk about sports now, but you gotta address things like that. I'm not the type of person that can just think of these things and then not say it. Anyway, let's do the pick six. Why should we do it? We're not going to get any better at it. All right, everybody, welcome to the pick six. I was just kidding with you. Of course, I have every intention of getting better at it because I'm dealing with you, the betters. Anyway. First, we're going to do Saturday, March 21st, which is, of course, tomorrow because I'm filming this Friday night. The Bruins are visiting the Red Wings. Detroit is hosting Boston, everybody. This is going to be a big game. Both teams have the record of 38-23. The Bruins, you can't go wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and pick against them. We're picking the Red Wings. Do I have an explanation for you? Not really, except don't feel bad, Boston. We're going to revisit the city of Boston a little later on in the picks. We're picking the Red Wings to beat the Bruins. We're never going to do odds and scores when it comes to hockey and basketball because I think, for me, it's just easier to do it with baseball and football. Next, we've got a game between the Lakers and the Orlando Magic, and that is at 4 p.m. on Saturday. Both of these teams have winning records. The Magic, not by much. The Lakers, could they be the most underrated team in the NBA? I don't know. They might be. Last week, they saved us. They saved our skin here by winning. We picked them to beat the Nuggets. They did so. Thank you, Lakers. I'm picking the Lakers again. We're staying on LA, and the Lakers are going to beat the Orlando Magic in Orlando. Next up, we've got the Pacers at the Spurs. This is the last game on Saturday of the pick six. Now, why am I picking this game? It's obvious the Pacers are going nowhere, except heading towards a top lottery pick is what they're really trying for. But, you got to really be happy in Indiana that the Hoosiers are great at football now because, oh boy, their record is 15-35. Am I reading this right? 15-55 or 35? That can't be. It could be. I think it could be 15-55. The Pacers are really lackluster this season. Of course, they're gunning for that top draft pick in the lottery. We're going to pick them to beat the Spurs just to be different, just because, you got to root for the underdog sometimes. The Spurs are doing great. They look like they're going towards not only the Western Conference Championship, but the NBA, the finals. So we're going to pick the Pacers to beat them here for no particular reason except maybe they can't flop as good as they think they can. All right, that takes us over to Sunday, where we've got 3 games again. It's going to be 2 hockey games and 1 basketball game. We're starting at 5 p.m. with the Timberwolves against the Celtics. This is a big game. The T-Wolves have 43-28 record. The Celtics are doing great with 47-23 as their record. We're going to pick the Celtics. So there you go, Boston. We're picking one of your teams this weekend. Yeah, we're going to pick the Celtics to beat the T-Wolves. Next up, the Stars. The Dallas Stars are hosting the Golden Knights. Look, the Golden Knights embarrassed me this past week by... where was it here? The Golden Knights. Yes, they beat the Chicago Blackhawks 4-0. And I picked, of course, Chicago to win that game. That was awful. And it's amazing that I can find something when I pick up my notebook, isn't it? We're going to go with the Stars to beat the Golden Knights. It's kind of like we keep on trying to beat the boss in Street Fighter. We keep picking against the Golden Knights. They keep beating us. But this time I think we got you. We got the Dallas Stars at home. They're going to beat you. All right, next up, we've got the LA Kings going in to play the Mammoth. All right, the Kings are going to beat the Mammoth. 28-24 is the record of the Kings. Now, that's not such a good record, but we're going with them anyway. We're going to stay on this LA string, here in the pick 6. We're picking the Lakers, we're picking the Kings. As far as Boston is concerned, we're splitting it. We're not picking the Bruins, we are picking the Celtics. And, we want the Pacers to show that they don't need a pacemaker against the Spurs. All right. That's the Pick 6. Thanks again for all your likes, your listens, your views, subscribes. Always gamble responsibly, and enjoy this weekend's games. Okay, sorry I got my phone out, everybody. I've only got it out because I'm going to use it to talk about March Madness. Of course, the first round of the NCAA men's tournament in basketball happened today, or yesterday now. But, and maybe 2 days ago if you watch this show on a Saturday. But we're going to talk about that in a second. First, I want to give a shout out and congratulations to the Venezuela baseball team having defeated us, the United States, in the World Baseball Classic. It wasn't fun to watch us lose, but I'll tell you, if I had to lose against anybody, it's perfect for us to lose against Venezuela. You got to be happy for them as a nation. Thankfully, they pulled it out. Again, I wish the USA would have done it, but they beat us. They beat us fair and square, and they are the better team this time. Anyway, all right, we're going to talk about the NFL a little bit because the 49ers made a humongous bungle. They didn't pick up offensive tackle Trent Williams' option, which is only $10 million, right? They could have taken his option, $10 million, and not taken a $46 million cap hit. Look at this. This year, by the way, the cap hit against the Niners. $46 million versus $10 million. I think I would have been like, Mr. Trent Williams, please put on this jersey immediately. That's a $36 million difference, and it's a $56 million swing, if you want to count like that. The Dolphins are sending wide receiver Jalen Waddle over to the Denver Broncos. I didn't really see what the bargain was on that one, but I do know that the Jets traded Justin Fields to the Chiefs for a 6th round pick. Way to go, Jets. You're going to pick up some gems in the 6th round that are willing to go to play. I'm just being a pest. I got worse words for it. I'll stop now. Sorry, Jets. I really hope they do something, but it's going to be the same old thing. I figured, because why should it be any different? Optimism is great, but to a point. Reality tends to figure in. Let's talk about the March Madness as promised. So, UConn beat Furman. That was expected. Miami won. They beat number 10 Missouri though. Missouri could have won that game. Number 4 Kansas was victorious over California Baptist by only 8 points. Wow, California Baptist, a good team. They're ranked number 13 in the nation. Either way, they lost to Kansas. The Jayhawks, solid every year. All right, the Florida Gators beat Prairie View. I don't know what kind of logo or mascot Prairie View has. I'll tell you what, I used to live in a place called Grand Prairie, Texas, for a very brief time. Florida, 114-55 over Prairie View. That's awful. Number 2, Purdue was victorious. Number 7, UCLA won. That's awesome. Shout outs to UCLA. Excuse me. St. John's, number 5 in the nation, won, beating UNI. St. John's won 79-53. Way to go, Johnnies. And not just because I have your name, you have mine. Okay. Number 9, Iowa actually upset number 8 Clemson Tigers here, 67-61. The Hawkeyes doing their part. Look at that in the first round. The Tennessee Vols beat the Miami of Ohio. I don't know what their logo is. What is it, the Red Hawks or something? 78-56. All right. Utah State beat Villanova. Dang. Smoother than moves by Villanova. That's messed up. All right. Number 9, Utah State beating Villanova 86-76. Well, congratulations, Utah State. Number 4, Alabama 90-70 over Hofstra. Iowa State 108-74 over Tennessee State. None of these are surprises, folks. That's why I'm just rolling right through them, in which it might not feel to you like I'm rolling right through them. In fact, you could be bored at this point of the show. Am I going to edit it out for time? No. Check this out. Number 1, Arizona Wildcats over LIU, 92-58. Holy moly, the Wildcats of Arizona. Always a solid basketball squad. They really are. You want to talk about all the way back to the days of, who was it? Like Don Beebe, and I think it was Don Beebe. Did I say Don Beebe? Wasn't he a football player? I should be ashamed of myself. I don't know who I'm talking about. Texas Tech, number 5, Texas Tech beat Akron 91-71. Kentucky, another Wildcats team here, beat Santa Clara 89-84. And that wraps up March Madness talk for that. I don't have time to keep up with March Madness, okay? I've got fuel shortages, prices of gas. I've got to look up rationing videos, war shortages, right? We've got to concentrate on what counts right now. Anyway, the way things are going, who knows? I pray to God again that we get out of this situation somehow in a peaceful manner. Note to Washington, and we'll just use this to wrap up the show. I read in a book one time that in the Middle East it's very important to give your opponent an out in any confrontation. And that's really not just a Middle East thing. I mean, if you got a cat cornered, not to use a cat metaphor here, but if you got a cat cornered and you don't leave him an out, what are the odds that he's going to just willingly go with you? No, he's going to scratch the shit out of you. Pardon my language. I'm sorry. But, in the Middle East, they have this concept of giving your opponent an out. And that means a dignified out. That means actually letting them have save face, that might come into play right here. I think I would hope so. Otherwise, what are we going to buy bicycles or what? I mean, what are we even doing here? It could be. And listen, I don't have any problem with bicycles. I'm a BMX guy. I love BMXs. There's nothing left in the show here, folks, so I'm just going to wing it until the end. I did say we're going to wrap it up on that. But, you know, the current way that we're doing things, it's not good. It's not good. And I think young people should be listened to a lot more. I'm not trying to cater to the young people here. Listen, when I was young, I was looking at older people thinking to myself, why, what are you doing and why? That's just ridiculous. The logic, or rather the lack of logic, was fascinating and enraging as a young man, as a youth. And I think a lot of people feel that way in the, Gen Z and millennials and, a lot of different of the younger generations. Now, listen, all this stuff going on right now, that's some boomer stuff right there. All right? I didn't do this stuff. My generation didn't do this stuff. At least not. No, I don't think so. Not to get generational with you. Anyway, enjoy this weekend's games. I hope you guys stay safe out there. I can't stop burping. Too much coffee. We're going to call it a show. Thank you again for tuning in. You guys be safe.